Welcome back to AM Northwest. They're the perfect podcast for summer listening, combining true crime and travel, sunny locations, and cold-blooded misdeeds. Here to share a few of her favorites, we welcome back New York Times best-selling author, screenwriter, and true crime buff, Chelsea Cain. Great to see you again, Chelsea.
Hi, Helen.
I love the podcast you pick because I listen to all of them.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I do.
I love you.
Let's try this one, The Price of Paradise.
The Price of Paradise is about an English family who buys a small island off Nicaragua online.
Doesn't know what they're getting into.
Imagine,
right?
Things don't go as planned.
Yeah.
And they end up getting in a world of trouble.
Now, is this a true crime?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yeah,
this
right?
really
This
happened.
really
Somebody
happened.
really bought an island.
Someone bought an island. It was a good price.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
What happens?
There's some murdering.
Yeah. Oh,
I know, who would think
I'm glad
that
I
would
have
go
this
wrong?
list, because now a whole new list to get to. Okay, and you say White Devil is a good one to listen to, too. Season 1.
So, White Devil is, it's about this murder that happened in Belize. Many people probably are familiar with it. Justine Harton was sitting at a seawall with her friend, who was a local police chief, and his gun went off, and he died. And people had questions for her about that.
Yeah.
And there's very much a narrative about her being this kind of Canadian gold digger. And what's cool about this podcast is it's the first time that she's really had a chance to kind of tell her story, which is different. And it also takes place in sunny Belize.
Yeah. Okay. You're listening to that. I got in season 1 you like the best. National Park After Dark.
Well, I thought this is good for the Pacific Northwest viewers before they head out to hike and camp this summer.
Listen to true crime that happens in the park.
Terrible murders
before you hike.
that happen in national parks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's why I don't hike or camp.
Me
I
too.
stay out of the woods.
That's why.
As a general
because
rule.
it gets dark and anybody can show up.
Anybody can.
Yeah. Can you tell me a hint at one of the murders? Again, true crime.
There are hundreds of them.
Okay.
Like this really is, there's a lot of crime.
Hundreds of murders
Hundreds of murders
in the parks.
Yes.
This is not good for the parks. To Live and Die in LA, season 1.
Yeah. Los Angeles, always a nice destination.
Yeah.
This is a great one for people who like kind of like live investigation, where the host is like investigating a crime as it is unfolding, and actually ends up solving it.
Oh, really does? Okay.
Yeah. So a young actress, Adea Shabani, goes missing in Los Angeles, and the host is Neil Strauss is immediately, gets a tip from this PI about it, and so immediately begins this podcast. So is investigating this and reporting on it as it's happening, and becomes very involved in the case.
Wow, you must really love that too.
I do.
Yeah.
I really love it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, Lost Hills, Dark Canyon season 5.
Yeah, Lost Hills is all Malibu. And I think I might have had that wrong. It might be season 1.
Okay, season 1. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Season 1.
And this one is about, so it's all terrible crimes that happen in Malibu.
Okay.
Or criminals involved, in Malibu. And this is about actually Mickey Dora, who was a surfer, one of the OG surfers in the early 60s in Malibu. And also kind of not a great guy. He would wear Nazi trench coats as he surfed. And this is in the early 60s. Too soon, I say.
Wow.
And he also was a real scammer, like a total con artist.
Right.
Stole from everybody he ever had a conversation with.
Yeah.
But ended up traveling the world to very nice surfing destinations, which you can also enjoy as you listen to the crimes that he committed.
Wow. When you think of all the podcasts you've listened to, true crime, what stands out as still one of the best to you?
I really like Case Files still.
Okay.
I think I talked about that the very first time I came.
Yeah, Case Files.
Because I wake up on Saturday morning and I'm like, I get to hear about a terrible murder today. I get to listen to Case File. They're on hiatus right now.
Yeah.
There's a backlog of also 400 murders that he's talked about.
And I'm still listening to Sword and Scale.
Yeah.
Even though even though sometimes the host bugs me, just because of his opinions, but he says what he says, and he tells the stories. And that's the thing with a podcast. The person doing the voice work or being
Yeah.
the host has to be really good.
They
You can't just
do.
read. You can't just read the story.
And they have to like think about the order of reveal
Yes. Yeah.
to be engrossing and engaging.
Yeah.
And I also like Sword and Scale. Also will play, 911 calls and like
yeah.
police interviews, and I
Right.
really like that. Like
Yeah.
they do the research and they submit their FOIAs and they,
Right.
they get content.
He's very good at storytelling.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, Felonious Florida, because everything happens in Florida.
Yeah, so every season is some new bizarre crime that has occurred in Florida.
Not only a
Par
crime, but a new
exemple.
bizarre crime.
For example, a clown knocks on a woman's door. She answers it. The clown shoots her dead and flees. That's a season.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Who is the clown? Why is the clown so angry at this woman?
And you know what? Since I listen to a lot of true crime, there are several clown stories.
There are.
Yeah.
These aren't good for people with clown phobias.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
But you think, yeah.
or for clowns.
For clowns.
It's bad for clowns.
It's bad for clowns. The Last Trip.
The Last Trip is a podcast. It's not great, but it's a great idea.
Okay.
Which is that every episode is somebody's last trip.
Oh, wow.
So it's somebody who dies on vacation or on a road trip.
Yeah.
Or it's very clever. It is a little telly in that sense that where it does feel like it's somebody just kind of reading.
Yeah.
What they have found on the internet. But some of them are really engrossing, and then you can kind of do your own research
Weed
later.
out this. Oh, yeah. That's what's fun, too, is
Yeah.
after you listen to one, then you go and you Google. You go down the rabbit
you
hole.
can see all the pictures.
You've been working on a movie that you wrote. Tell me about it. It's called The Bend right now.
called The
Working.
Bend.
Okay. You shot it in Bend, right?
Outside
Outside
in
Bend,
Sisters, or like Outside Sisters.
Yeah.
It is about a family who goes on vacation to their vacation house, and their daughter sleepwalks into the woods
Oh.
and comes back, and then things get really creepy.
And what inspired?
I've
I mean,
always
first of
been a
all, the
sleepwalker.
scenery is stunning, right?
Yeah, right.
Who directed it too?
James Westby,
Yeah.
who I love,
Yes.
and it stars, in fact, his daughter, Clea Westby, who is a showstopper.
Yeah.
It's her debut film, so.
The little that I've seen of her, she looks like an amazing actress.
Yeah, she's really good. Like, she's gonna be a star.
Yeah.
She's good.
So she sleepwalks
Yeah.
and.
And,
Is that
leaves
your dog that I just saw?
Yeah, it is.
No way. Really? Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
That's
So
right
she's
there.
walking your dog in the movie. Okay. And she's sleepwalking at that time, the character.
No, she's sleepwalking when you see her in the white nightgown going
Okay.
into the woods. But
Okay.
yeah, it's very dreamy and also darkly funny.
Yeah.
And creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, as all
Totally
things
like
should
what
be.
you
And
write.
also, beautiful.
Beautiful. Absolutely. When does it
You
come
know,
out?
and it's also it reinforces my thesis: the woods is scary.
Yes.
Stay out of the
To
woods.
Stay out of the woods. Okay. When does it come out? Do we know yet?
It's going to festivals soon. We're doing a little crowdfund that starts on July 16th on Seed and Spark, which is cool site for artists crowdfunding. And also sounds like a feed and seed store that also sells fireworks.
Yes, it does.
But yeah, we're going to have some great prizes. Chuck Palahniuk actually is the voice of the true crime podcast that the mom is listening to
Wow.
during the movie.
Wow.
And he's going to sign some severed appendages
I love that.
for us to give out.
That's great.
Although they're harder to source since
Yeah.
the tariffs. Severed appendages. There's a shortage, Helen. We need to talk about this.
Yeah,
People need to
the
know.
tariffs on the appendages. Okay, we're going to have a link, by the way, to that crowdfunding
yeah.
and all of that, all the information, also the list of the podcast you mentioned. Thank you so much. All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away. Oh, I love you.
I love
Great.
you.